Hi, and welcome to Questacon Science Time. My name is Dion.
And I'm BJ.
And today we're talking about inside the body.
Let's go!
Wake up, sun and moon, it's science time, it's science time. Wake up, skeleton, it's science time, it's science time. At home, in the bathroom, when we're swimming, there is science. Outside, at the playground, in the sunshine, there is science. Wake up.
Now, if everyone looks around the room today, what do you think we might be talking about in science time? Skeletons? What else do you think, maybe?
Dinosaur bones.
Oh, we're going to be looking at human bones today.
You know,
Human bones?
Just some dinosaur bones were all left around here.
Yeah, there might be some. Did you? Well, today we're going to talk about our bodies, though. So usually we can talk about dinosaur bones and stuff, but today we're going to actually talk about our bones. What other things? We're actually going to talk about inside the body. What other things are inside our bodies? Can anyone tell me? Bones, very much so. What other things are inside our bodies? Blood. Blood is very important. We've got blood inside our body. How about, we were talking about breakfast before. Where does our breakfast go after we eat it? In our tummy. Where's your tummy? Can you show me where your tummy is? Where's your tummy? It's right here, isn't it? So you've got a tummy.
And you know what time the food turns into?
What does the food turn into? It does turn into poo, and we're going to talk about how that food turns into poo very, very soon. Now, what else is inside of our bodies? Can anyone think of anything else?
They turn into milk.
Some of the milk. Well, how about, there's something very important inside our head. What's inside our head? Our brain. We're going to be talking about brains today as well. So what we might do is I might introduce you to someone called anatomy, first of all. Now, anatomy is a very, very special sort of person because we can see all of her insides. We can see all of her insides. So this is anatomy over here.
A very special doll. Here we go.
There we are. Now, Anna's, all her inside bits we can actually see. Now, first of all, we've already talked about this bit, but can anyone tell me what is this bit here?
The head.
It's the head, the brain. The brain, very, very important. Now, what do you use your brain to do?
Think.
You use it to think, don't you? Use it to think. Now, what I want everyone to do, we're going to use our brains now. I want everyone to wiggle your fingers and toes. Can everyone wiggle your fingers and toes? Wiggle, 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 wiggle. What's happening is your brain is sending a message to your fingers and to your toes, and it says, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, and they start to wiggle. Now, if you stop wiggling your toes, can you stop wiggling your toes and your fingers? What happened is your brain sent another message to your fingers and to your toes and said, stop wiggling toes, stop wiggling fingers, and that's why they stopped. So our brain is really, really important because it helps us do all the things we need to do. It helps our bodies do all the important stuff. What else does a brain do?
Make you to do your breath.
Yeah, it helps you breathe as well, doesn't it? Which leads me on to the next bit we're going to talk about. These also help us breathe. Our brain helps us breathe, but these help us breathe too. Does anyone know what these might be? I'll give you a clue. We do breathe with them. No, it's lungs. Can everyone say lungs for me? Lungs. Now lungs, they are in your chest and they help you breathe. So they're about here. Now can everyone take a big breath in for me?
Big breath.
And a big breath out. Your lungs are what's helping you breathe. So it's like your lungs are made out of tiny little balloons, and those balloons get bigger when you breathe in and smaller when you breathe out. So I want everyone, can everyone put your hands on your chest for me, and breathing in for me, and breathing out. You might have felt that your lungs got bigger as you breathed in and smaller as you breathe out. Give that a try at home as well. Now behind our lungs, we've got another very, very important bit. This one here. Now, does anyone know what this organ or body part is?
It's your heart.
Your heart. Well done. Now, what sound does a heart make? What do you think?
Does anyone know what sound your heart might make?
Ba-boom.
Oh,
Ba-boom.
yes,
Ba-boom.
yes.
It makes a ba-boom sound, doesn't it?
A bum boom sound, and there's a teller kind of thing, and when it goes on your tummy, it makes noises.
Yeah, so we're actually going to talk about that today. That's called a stethoscope. Can everyone say stethoscope for me? Stethoscope. Has anyone ever seen a stethoscope before?
I do, so I've been to the hospital.
Yeah,
and
so-
the doctors lots of times.
Yeah, so who uses these sorts of things, do you think?
Doctors.
Doctors and nurses and that sort of thing. So people that you look after your health, they use these sorts of things. Now, if I wanted to listen to my heart, because this is what it does, I can put these bits in my ears. And where would I put this bit to listen to my heart, do you think? Would I put it on my head?
No.
Would I put it on my elbow?
No.
Where's my heart? Can anyone show me?
On heart is these parts.
It's on your chest, isn't it? It's right in your chest. It's in the middle and a bit to the left. There we are. So if I listen really carefully, bubble, bubble, I can hear my heart beating using our stethoscope. And that's what a doctor or a nurse does as well. They use these ones to listen to our heart beating. Now, the reason our heart makes this sound is because it's pumping something all around our body. What is it pumping, do you think? You mentioned this earlier. It's stuff that, so if you fall over or you cut yourself, red stuff comes out. What's that called?
Blood.
It's blood. Yes. It's blood. And blood is pumped all around your body by your heart through these things over here.
And it's bleeding.
Sometimes, yeah, when you bleed, it is a bit red. And that's because you've got blood all around your body. Now, if everyone has a look at your wrist for me. Everyone have a look at your wrist. You might be able to see blue lines. Can you see blue lines in your wrist?
Yeah.
These are called veins. These are called veins. So what happens is blood goes all around your body through veins and arteries. And they help to take blood to the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes. Now what blood does, it actually carries oxygen all around your body. Do you have lots of veins, do you? You do have lots of them. Now these veins, they're actually carrying oxygen and blood around your body. So when you breathe in, you're breathing in oxygen, and your blood and your heart pumps the oxygen all around your body. What we're going to do, we're going to try and get our hearts beating really, really fast. So what I want everyone to do, I need everyone to stand up for me. Can everyone stand up for me? Standing up. And we're going to see if we can make our hearts beating really, really fast by exercising. So what I want everyone to do, we're going to run on the spot. So everyone running on the spot, running as fast as you can. Running. And keep running. I hope you at home are running as well. Make sure to run on the spot. So what's happening is there's lots of blood pumping around. We're exercising lots and lots. We're almost finished. And stop. Oh. And sitting down. Now, putting your hand on your chest, can you feel your heart beating? You probably can. That's because when we do exercise, our muscles in our body needs lots and lots of oxygen and blood. So well, first of all, we have to start breathing a bit more to get more oxygen, and our heart pumps harder in order to get the blood all around our body a bit faster, so we can get lots more oxygen. Well, we're going to talk about this now. So we talked about our heart, we talked about our lungs. Now we're going to have a chat about other things as well. So could I get you to move back for me, shuffling back?
We go back.
Shuffle back.
Spot. We go back. We go back. Well done.
Good work.
Excellent.
So now we're going to have a look at this thing here. We're not going to talk much about this body part because it's a bit complicated, but here we've got something called a liver. Can everyone say liver for me? Liver. Now a liver is a bit like a washing machine for our body. It helps keep our blood nice and clean and helps us keep us nice and healthy as well. Now underneath our liver, we've got this thing here. Now this is where our food goes when we eat it. So what do you think this might be? Ooh, a good guess.
It goes in our mouth, we chew it, we swallow it.
And it goes down into where, do you think? Into our tummy. So if you eat cheese, it will go down to your tummy.
And all the parts around inside those parts make the poo.
It's true. Down here, this is where all the poo is made. That is very, very true. But before the poo is made, we eat the food, we chew it in our mouths, we swallow it, and it goes down into our stomach. Now, our stomach can be big or small. It can stretch if we eat lots of food and gets a bit smaller if we don't eat a lot of food. And it also does something else. It adds digestive juices as well. So this helps us to really get the good things out of our food that we eat. Now, after it's been in our stomach for a little while, it goes into these things here. Does anyone think they know what this is called?
Yeah, I know.
What do you think?
Pipe.
It's a bit like pipes, isn't it? Yeah. But it's actually called intestines. Can everyone say intestine? Intestine. So intestines, these are really, really, really long tubes where all the food goes through, and our intestines take all the good things like the vitamins and the minerals from the food that we eat. So hands up, has your mum or dad ever said eat your vegetables? Has anyone's mum or dad ever said eat your vegetables?
Yeah.
You might have at home as well.
Mum and Dad do.
The reason your mum or dad say that is because your intestines love vegetables. They love vegetables. They like vegetables and fruit and all the healthy foods because they've got lots of vitamins and minerals in them. Now, when all the food has gone through our bowels or through our intestines, then all the food, all the good stuff from the food has been taken away. So what do you think comes out the end of the intestines? Poo. Poo comes out the end. So when we've got all the good stuff out of our food, poo comes out. Yep. So we got poo as well, but also when we drink water, then we get pee, which is kept in our bladder. So our bladder is a bit like a balloon. So when our balloon gets full or our bladder gets full, then that feels like we need to go to the toilet. That's when we drink lots of water and that sort of stuff. And here we've got our intestines, which make the poo. So take all the good stuff out of food and make the poo.
And then all the waste we get rid of.
Yeah.
There's poo and wee.
There we are. So we'll put Anna back together with her
Intestines, stomach,
her liver. Her heart's already in there.
heart.
And now we'll add her lungs as well. There we are. Now, we've talked about our organs, our body parts, but now we're going to have a chat about bones. Bones. Now, first of all, do you think bones are hard or soft?
Hard.
They're quite hard. Can you feel your elbow for me? Feel your elbow.
Yeah.
Is your elbow hard or soft?
Hard.
It's hard, isn't it? It is.
You know, all the bones on your arms, they're inside your blood.
They are. They're inside your body. Yeah. So they're behind all that skin there.
Of your bone.
Now, what I've got here, I've actually got a skeleton over here. And this will show us all the sorts of bones that we have in our body. Now, an important bone that we want to talk about first is this one up here. Does anyone know what this bone is called? A head bone. Can everyone feel your head for me? Can you feel the bone in your head?
Yeah.
You probably can. Now, this bone has got a very special name. This bone is called a skull. Can everyone say skull for me? Skull. So this skull, this hard bone in our head, it's protecting what's inside our skull. Can anyone remember what's inside our skull?
A brain.
Our brain.
And you know,
Brain's very, very
you know
important.
something of your head.
What?
The teeth is more bone.
It's true, teeth are more bone as well. So you can see here our skeletons have got teeth and they are made out of the same or similar stuff to bone. Now, this here, we've got bones on our chest. Can everyone feel your bones in your chest for me? Can you feel your bones in your chest?
Yeah, I feel.
Does anyone know what they're called? Yeah, we've got bones there as well.
Chest bone.
Chest bones, good guess. They're actually called ribs. Can everyone say ribs for me? Ribs. So ribs are those bones on our chest. Now, bones can do a couple of different things. Bones, the ones in our legs and our arms and that sort of stuff, they keep us nice and strong and they stop us from being like a jellyfish almost. They keep us nice and strong. Now, other bones, like our ribs and our skull that we talked about, are protecting things. So our skull is protecting our brain inside, and our ribs, they come across on our chest to protect our lungs and our heart, which is very, very important because they're very, very important organs.
Isn't feel buried on the ground.
Yeah, well, it is. So these are buried underneath skin and that sort of stuff. That's why we can't really see our ribs when we look at each other.
But that isn't buried, that whole same bone, because there's all hooks around it.
It's very true, very true. Now, one thing I want to have a look at on the bones is actually the hands. Now, there are lots and lots of bones inside of our hands. So I want everyone to try and count the bones in a hand. So if you're at home, you can look on the internet for a picture of a bone or a hand, or you can come over here and have a look at it during science time and count the finger bones. We'll do it a little bit later though, so sitting on your bottom. So you can count how many bones we've got in our fingers. So even if you have a look at your finger, you can see that even in one finger, you've got one bone here, one bone there, and a bone there as well. So there are 3 bones in just that one finger. So see how many there are in a whole hand. So we've got lots of things to talk about and to see in science time today. So ready, set, go, find your grown-up, explore the room and see what you can find.
We live in. It's science time. It's science time. We're gonna play. It's fun experimenting. It's science time. It's science time. At home, in the kitchen, when we're cooking, there is science. Outside, in the garden, in the night sky, there is science. Wake up, sun and moon. It's science time. It's science time. Wake up, skeleton. It's science time. It's science time. Wake up, butterfly. It's science time. It's science time. Wake up, volcano.
While everyone's having a play, we're going to go and have a closer look at bones. Let's go. We're here in Questacon's Q Lab, where you can do simple hands-on experiments. Now, here's a wonderful skeleton. We've been looking at bones and skeletons in science time today. Here's the skull, here are the ribs. Your body has lots and lots of bones, all in your body. When a doctor wants to see your bones, they take a special picture called an X-ray. Here, we've got an X-ray picture of the body. There's the skull, there's the ribs, here are the arms and legs. You've got lots and lots of bones inside your body. Now, your bones are very, very strong. Although, sometimes if you have an accident, you can actually break a bone. Right here, I've got an X-ray of a broken bone. This is a leg bone. There's the hip, the knee's down here, and you can see the bone is broken. Here's another X-ray of an arm bone. The elbow's here, the wrist's down here, and these bones in the middle have broken. You, or someone you know, may have had a broken bone. I had a broken arm once when I was a kid. I fell over and broke my arm. And I went to the doctor, and the doctor put my arm nice and straight so the bones were together. Then they put plaster on it. Now, plaster is a little bit like a bandage, but it's really hard and it stops your arm moving. I had a plaster on my arm for 6 whole weeks, and when the doctor took the plaster off, my arm was all better. Doctors and nurses are great at making our bodies healthy. Let's go see what's happening back in science time.
Okay, so we talked about a lot of different things in science time today, but now it's time to talk about something very, very special. Now, here we've got some sort of pretend arms and leg. Now, what it's showing here, does this look like your leg?
No. Yeah, it does.
A little bit, but it looks a bit grosser, doesn't it? It doesn't really look like our leg because it hasn't got any skin on it. Because what we're looking at here is something called muscle. Has anyone ever heard of muscle before? Hands up.
Yeah.
You might have heard of muscles before.
Yeah, 'cause I just saw the
Now,
muscle
what
pick
muscles
out
can
the
do for
doctor.
us, they can help us move. So our bones keep us nice and strong, and our muscles also help keep us nice and strong and help us move. So can everyone stick your arm out for me? Everyone stick your arm out, nice and straight.
Let's see how our muscles can move.
Stick your arm out nice and straight. You at home as well, stick out your arm nice and straight. Now what I want everyone to do, I want you to lift your arm up like this. Well done. So what's happening is you're actually using a muscle in your arm over here to lift your arm up on the top of your arm. So it pulls and it pulls your arm up. Now can everyone make their arm straight again? There we are. What you're using now is a muscle on the bottom of your arm. And that one was pulling to make your arm go straight. So what you can do, you can actually put your hand on top of your muscle, on top of your arm. Can you put your hand on top of your muscle?
And that's this muscle right
And feel it as you move your arm. Can you move your arm up and down? Can you feel your muscle moving? You might be able to feel your muscle moving and pulling your arm up and down, which is pretty cool. Now, as you can see here, this is called a bicep, the one on top of your arm. We can see that over here. And the one at the back is called a tricep. That helps us straighten our arms. Now, you've got muscles all over your body. You've got them in your arms and your legs, and they're very, very useful for helping you move. The next thing we're going to look at is our knee this time. So can everyone stick out your leg nice and straight for me? Stick out your leg. At home as well, sticking out your leg. Now, your leg, it's got one big bone at the top and one big bone down the bottom. And they're joined in the middle by your knee. So here you've got your big bone here, your big bone down the bottom, and you're joined at the knee. Now, when your knee is straight, this is what it looks like. Nice and straight there. Can everyone bend your knee though? Everyone bend your knee. What's happening is your muscles are moving and your bones are moving too. So it looks a little bit different on the inside. Now, this is what it looks like on the inside of your knee without the skin there. We can't see it really, but you can feel it. So if you put both hands on your knee for me, can everyone put both hands on your knee? And can you move your knee up and down? Can you feel all the bits moving inside your knee? You might be able to. It's quite cool. There we are. So that's what happens underneath all that skin. You've got muscles and bones and joints moving to make things work, which is quite cool. And all the time, it's your brain that's telling you to do it as well. Now, we've got a lot of things to give away at Science Time today. First of all, we have our parent information sheet. This will give you an idea of some activities to do at home, some websites to visit, that sort of stuff. Also a really fun one where you can lie on the ground, trace your body, and then draw your bits on the inside as well, which is lots of fun.
That's my favourite activity.
Now we've also got a colouring in for everyone as well. So here we've got a boy and he's in front of an X-ray machine, which helps doctors look at bones without having to cut you open and stuff, so they take pictures. So here you can see the bones of his chest. Have you got one as well? Can anyone tell me, what are those bones on the chest called? Can you remember? It protects your heart. They're called ribs, the ribs. So there are the ribs. You can colour them in a different picture. Boys and girls at home, you can find these on the internet as well. So it's time to say goodbye. So can everyone have a look at the boys and girls at home? And can everyone wave and say, see you next science time.
See you next science time. Questacon Science Time is held at Questacon in Canberra, Tuesday to Friday during school terms. Bookings are essential. For further information, go to our website at questacon.edu.au. See you next science time.